bum bum ba bum 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 ba bum ba ba bum bum ba 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 bum. Hi everybody, this is Black Rhino Ranger, and here we are on my last live stream of 2024 in California, that is. In fact, in Malaysia right now, it's already New Year's Day, because today is New Year's Eve in California, but New Year's Day in Malaysia. Happy New Year! Now, for this occasion, originally I was going to do a bit of an animation on this, but I didn't have a lot of time, and I was a little exhausted from opening the presents and spending some time with my family. In fact, I was watching two movies, one of which is supposed to be live action, but really it's all CGI, yet it is very photorealistically CG. And another that features something blue, something orange, and something red, facing something dark. Anyways, so I thought about just making a still image of this. So for this occasion, we're doing a live stream. We're doing one gigantic picture of the Happy New Year 2025 picture. So there's only one rule: request literally any character doing literally anything within this picture. Since it's a New Year's Eve party, and I thought maybe the party's like, go wild, go nuts, do whatever you want. Have them text, have them dance, have them whatever. The choices are yours, and yours alone. So, fellas, and this live stream will last for about an hour or two. So, let's see what you got. And also, fellas, the super chat system has officially returned. So you can pledge any amount you desire for an immediate request. If you have nothing to request, just ask me any question. So, what's the first request? Okay, let's see here. Okay, I got a new one. And it's oh, and I got another one. Thank you, Elijah Aki. Okay, I have no idea how to pronounce the last name. I'll just say Elijah. And Firecracken and Flare were riding a gigantic firework. Da 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 da. Sorry, that song is in my head. I was watching a live video and it was singing the famous Katy Perry song. Da 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 firework. Now, the funny thing is, when I was doing my Skylanders with different songs videos, a lot of people assumed that I was gonna use Firework by Katy Perry for Firecracken when I first did my different songs videos. But my original choice for Firecracken was this Trogdor song. You know, Trogdor was a man, he was a dragon man. Now, originally, that was requested by somebody else. Originally, somebody wanted me to use the Trogdor song for Hothead. I skipped on that part because Hothead didn't look very dragonish, and I thought about saving that in case there's an actual Skylander who is all flames and stuff. An actual dragon Skylander, fiery, and that's when Firecracken came in, I was like, he'll do. And I decided to use Firework for Firework Zook instead during the Lost Islands exclusive Skylander. Hey, the rocket's a little soggy. Let me just straighten it a bit. Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah, sometimes whenever I do my Skylanders or different songs videos, a lot of people make a few assumptions that I would use a particular song for that specific Skylander, when in actuality I chose something else. Like, most people were expecting "This Girl Is on Fire" for Smolder Dash, but my first choice for her was "And I'm Walking on Sunshine." Whoa, and I'm walking on sunshine. Now, one more thing, fellas. Since I just opened the super chat, and I noticed a lot of people are really, really excited to see, me do something like this again. There are some I might accidentally skip, but thankfully I do have another way to see which ones I've missed, because sometimes when I pause the super chat just to focus on the character to draw, sometimes I it's hard for me to catch up. Let's say. Okay, that's Firecracken, but I'm missing somebody. Who am I missing? Let's see, who am I missing? By the way, have you seen one of my recent shorts? Hey, let's just say I just or even one of my community posts recently. I just got myself a little something which I shall be doing in the future. Just give me a bit of time to do so. Before you ask, no, I'm not finished with Crash Team Rumble yet. I still got 100 items to unlock first. I'm at the 400 part, and I'm almost close, and I'm nearly finished with leveling up the winning the party mode stuff for the Skyland. Not Skylanders, for the other characters. I managed to complete for Crash, Tanya, what was it? Crash, Tanya, Alora, what was it? I'm trying to remember. What was it again? Ripperoo and Dr. Embryo. I managed to get those finished. I'm just waiting for another party mode. Event, and then I'm finally done. I'm finally complete with my party mode leveling ups for the for the characters. I keep forgetting they're not Skylanders, even though they are made by the same guys who made Skylanders. So, anyways, that's Flare Wolf and Firecracken and rocketing. Let me just add in an extra grip on that. Oops, that's a no-no. Oops. There we go, fellas. We have Firecracken and Flare Wolf flying towards the Happy New Year 2025 fireworks on a rocket. Okay, who's next? Okay, here it is. Sagwa and Dongwa. Wait a minute, I know them. It's those cats. I remember that. I remember seeing that show as a kid. They Sagwa. I think I've said this before, but it was my introduction to the Chinese zodiac. The tale of how the mouse became first in the Chinese zodiac. I'm still trying to do a little something for the Chinese zodiac. Let's see. There was another one. There was another. I think there was another Chinese based Western show I remember seeing as a kid. It was called. I don't know. I don't know if a lot of people remember this because a lot of it is kind of lost. It was a series of shorts called Legends of the Ring of Fire. I don't know how many people remember that, but there was something about. They were like a series of 5-minute shorts that tell some legends, I think. The one I remember is that this snail woman says, "I will marry you." And then, and when this poor man tries to, he's like, "I wish I could fall in love with somebody," or something like that. And the snail says, "I will marry you." The guy thought it was all just a joke, so he just but felt a bit kind to the snail and just took him home. Suddenly, the next morning, he realizes that his laundry was done and his breakfast was cooked. So he was wondering who could have done this, and it turns out the snail was an actual magic woman. It was all beautiful and stuff, and she says once again, "I will marry you." That's the thing I remember. I remember seeing that as a kid. I don't know. I don't remember what other episode I saw from Saga. But I mean, the most memorable one to me is the one with the. Let me just see. There are ways of turning the characters' heads around, because sometimes I have sometimes I keep forgetting about character head turns. Maybe I should have reserved the super chats with just questions that I'll try and respond immediately, rather than requests that I'll do immediately. Yeah, but I don't want to be too mean. Let me just make sure I color the. Maybe I'll just. I think I'll just. Yeah, that'll do. And then I'll just. Yeah, that makes me. The one thing I don't think they mentioned this in the Sagwa segment, but the Chinese zodiac race legend was meant to explain why the rats and the cat became sworn enemies. In fact, there are a lot of different legends for how certain animals came who to be. One example is Rudyard Kipling's "How the Rhino Got His Skin." You're wondering why the rhino's skin is all bumpy. Well, it turns out there was this Indian cook who cooked a magnificent cake, but then suddenly a rhino, all angry, starts to charge, and he starts eating the cake all aggressively. And then he decided to take a bit of a bath in the water. He took off his skin, took a bath under water, and then the baker decided to scrub his skin with bits of the crumbs of the cake. And when the rhino puts on the skin, he starts to feel a bit ticklish. So he wants to scratch it, but it only made the problem worse. And then he starts to keep rubbing it so much, he became all bumpy and stuff. And then he rubbed off his 3 buttons. And then he left feeling all grumpy and angry and all scratchy and stuff because the crumbs inside him, it's all tight and stuff. And that's how the rhino got his skin today. The other one is the elephant's child, aka how the elephant got his trunk. So the elephant's child originally started off as a... Wait, did I... I accidentally merged Flare Wolf with Sagwa. Let me just... oops. Something's not right. There we go. Now let's have her with her big brother Donwa. So how the elephant got his child. So the elephant's child has a lot of curiosities, and from the book I read, the elephant keeps getting spanked a lot, like always so many curiosities. And apparently the aunt is a baboon and a hippo. An uncle's a baboon and the aunt's a hippopotamus for some reason. And then suddenly he comes across a crocodile, and then the crocodile starts pulling his nose until the child gets his his nose became like super long, and then when he tried to shrink it, try to cool it with his trunk, try to cool his nose with the have it shrink back. It didn't. The trunk stayed long, and then suddenly he convinced all the other elephants to also have their trunks enlonged and elongated, and then from that day forward, that's all the elephants have a long nose. Except for a couple, like that elephant from Summer Camp Island. For some reason, that's an example of an elephant's child that never bothered to go into the lake to get that long nose. In some media, they would have some animals with hands, especially the rhinos, but they will have the elephants keep their hooves instead of giving them hands, and they would say, and the only thing they can use to grab onto things is their trunk, like in real life. This happened with Babar. This happened with some of the elephants of Zootopia. Some they did give both the elephants hands and kept their trunk, like Nelly the elephant. And I'm trying to think. Was there another animal character that has the trunk but also hands, and is used to and they use both their hands and their trunk? I'm I'm trying to remember which one it was. A Fred Burger, but he's not really an elephant. He's something that resembles an elephant. And the other legend I can try and think of is how the bear lost his tail. The bear once had a long tail, and the fox was like very jealous. So he decided to trick him into fishing, to use the bear's tail as a fishing rod, by picking a spot that has absolutely no fish at all. And then the bear decided to take the bait and use it and do that tail thing. Suddenly, there was a bit of a storm, and the bear was frozen in the snow, and his tail was also frozen in the pond. And so and when the bear thought he got a bite, he tried pulling his tail off, and then it snapped, having the bear with just a short, stubby tail. And from that day forth, that's how the bear lost his tail and has no love for the fox. Then the Chinese zodiac is supposed to explain why the rat is the sworn enemy of the cat, besides the dog. There you go, fellas. We have Sagwa and Donwa in looking up at the fireworks. It's kind of funny that I got these cartoony goofballs and two very cutesy animals. Anyways, what's next? Backyardigans. Tyrone. Again, rest in peace, the person who created Yardigans. I haven't seen Backyardigans, but I was aware of its existence, and the only thing that was really bringing my attention to it was the fact that the creator of Backyardigans unfortunately passed. How was your year in 2024? For me, it was kind of a rotten year. Not as rotten as the second half of... not as rotten as the last bit of 2023, but still kind of rotten for me. I mean, I had to have my computer in repairs twice because and it was like a total of a 3-month hiatus of no computer and no ability to draw anything. I was stuck with a broken computer for at first over 3 weeks and later over a month and a half. It was very frustrating that I was not able to get many projects done in time. It's why I delayed Skyne, because I was trying to get some things fixed. I mean, when I was in England, I was planning to finish off. Okay, I wasn't necessarily planning to finish off Skyne, but I was planning to continue with Skywar, not Skywar, the Skylanders Christmas Holiday Redux as much as I can, and I was planning to do some other things while there, but it just wasn't my year. It just wasn't my year. Not to mention the industry is also it's also the year a lot of layoffs. I mean, Activision after Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard, fired nearly 2,000 employees. And they cost Toys for Bob their physical office. And now we don't know what is the fate of the Skylanders, Spyro, and Crash. Although I have heard they made a guest appearance in a certain video game, their first PlayStation exclusive their first PlayStation exclusive game appearance since 2000. Before they were still they were multiplay. They were on multi-platforms like in fact, Crash the Insane Trilogy originally started as a Crash and it originally started as an exclusive to PlayStation 4, but later it got imported to Xbox One and Nintendo Switch, and later Spyro Reignited Trilogy immediately went to both PlayStation and Xbox. PS4 and Xbox One, I meant. And then Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled immediately went to Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4. Unlike Spyro and Crash, there was no PC version of Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. And not to mention, Sony has been having a bit of trouble with trying to sell their game, trying to make money with their games recently. And at times like this, I'm glad that Sony is no longer the owners of Spyro or Crash. Although actually they never owned it, it was Universal that did. It's just they had a strong connection with Sony at the time. But rather than wanting to revive some old franchises like Sly, Jack, and I believe Ratchet as well, since they haven't had a new game since 2021. But then again, they didn't have a new Ratchet game until for 5 years with something like that. With the 2016 Ratchet, which was supposed to be a tie-in with the movie, but I digress. So what was that other one again? Oh yeah, Megby, isn't that the small duck, fire duck creature? Never mind. And they tried to make a new game called Conquered, which cost like $400 million. I was like, $400 million to make a video game? I thought some of the movies like Pirates of the Caribbean 4 and the Avengers Endgame were humongously expensive. Even Michael Bay's Transformers films were cheaper than that. I mean, $400 million just to make a video game? It's crazy. And strangely enough, despite the $400 million budget, it didn't look very impressive. There was the character roster is really small, and the character designs for the most part were not very good. At least a lot of people. That's what a lot of people say. Some of them look really gross to look at, like the mushroom alien. And some of them look a little too generic, especially the one who has the hazmat suit. They didn't look very good. There was there was even a woman who has this bright Star-Lord like leather jacket, and people are asking how's she gonna, where are her gun holders? How is she going to get the how's she gonna put, where's she gonna put those guns when she doesn't need them? They say the best character is the walking tin can, the robot who kind of looks like a gigantic version of that Monsters Inc. canister. They say he's the best character. And I heard they're trying something a little similar with Intergalactic. They have this woman who's like who shaves her hair, and with this Commander Bossett, the dude with an eye patch, kind of like a female Nick Fury in a sense, oldie Nick Fury, not the one we're used to. And people are just giving massive backlash to the character. Now, I personally don't think she looks bad. I actually did once have a relative who was bald, and she went bald temporarily. For reasons, and there was also Jada Pinkett Smith, the and you know during the Oscars where Chris Rock poked fun of her by saying, Jada, Jane 2, can't wait to see ya. This ticked off Will Smith. He says, keep my wife's name out your effing mouth. So that does that. Now, funny enough, the game is created by Naughty Dog, the same people who made Crash Bandicoot, Jak and Daxter, Last of Us, and Uncharted. And if I remember correctly, her voice actress, she actually played a role in the Last of Us movie, and that's not the only role I know from her. She also was this character from the Emoji Movie where she plays the love interest of the main human character Alex. But my most favorite role from her is, of course, Willow Park from the Owl House. And I heard she's about to become Jade in the second Mortal Kombat movie. Anyways, that's the Tyrone and Magby from Pokemon Roasting Marshmallows. So that's checked. Okay, who's next? Joy, Sanjay, and Craig. Okay. Once again, my introduction to Sanjay and Craig, I actually do remember seeing commercials of Sanjay and Craig, and I only saw one episode, and it was them doing something Christmas related. The only other thing I know from Sanjay and Craig was a review from a very, very controversial angry reviewer, and the episode he chose was Fart Baby, where they start eating these chicken wings, and then they started to cut some cheese, let's say, until some of that gas gets trapped, and they think, oh, I'm having a baby. And this guy, he was like so angry with this. He's like, he even complimented a post-movie pre-sequel SpongeBob episode, saying that he did this better. Like it was in season 7 in Perfect Chemistry. Yes, SpongeBob in its worst season managed to tell some of the funniest jokes than this episode could ever do. That's what he was like. He tried giving the show another chance with Unbarfable, He still didn't, and he was even more grossed out with it. I won't say who it is, but I think you guys got a pretty good idea who it is. At first, I just wanted to join on the hate wagon because it was a cool thing to do, but after seeing it, I was like, I've seen worse. Yeah, it's nothing really. It's nothing really that horrendous. Like I said, I've seen worse things from Nickelodeon than Sanjay and Craig. I mean, I was trying to think what else. Now I will say this though, if you I do think they should have chose a different name for Craig. Like give him something that helps reflect on his snaky side. I find Craig a bit too much of a standard name. And also, if someone is a fan of Craig Up the Creek or a fan of South Park who has a character named Craig, sometimes it can be a little confusing. But or if he was a if Sanjay was a cobra, then maybe the name would have fit better. But as it is, that's the only way I can tell who is Sanjay and who is Craig. Sanjay I could easily tell because he's the Indian American kid. The others like Fanboy and Chum Chum and yes, even Breadwinners, I was able to tell who is who by their designs and names. Like Fanboy, who is Fanboy? He's the tall one. Who is Chum Chum? He's the short one. Since Chum Chum is like a sidekick type, I thought maybe let me just choose a better. Yeah, I think this one is better. I thought maybe Sanjay, Fanboy, and Chum Chum. That I was able to get know who is who right away. And Sway Sway and Badooz, even though I really do not like those characters, I was able to tell who is who. I mean, who is Sway Sway? He's the one who's got the snake, who's got the body that makes him look like he's ready to sway. And Badooz, he looks like he's got a body that looks like he's about to make a Badooz. That's how I'm able to recognize he's who's who. As for Rocket Monkeys, who's Gus and who is Wally? I have no freaking clue. I remember seeing these characters multiple times, and I still have trouble remembering who is Gus and who is Wally. Because their designs are so similar. There's nothing really about their names that scream for their designs. I mean, even if you want to name your characters as such, you gotta make them have their names stand out, or have their personalities really stand out as well for us to recognize who's who. I'm able to tell which Transformer is which based on their color schemes, maybe some of their powers, or even their color schemes, some of their powers, even some of their voices, like the Seekers of Transformers. Who is Starscream? He's the red one. Who is Skywarp? He's the purple one who has the ability to teleport. Let me start again. Who is Starscream? He's the red one, voiced by Chris Latta, and the one who has the who schemes to try and become the new leader of the Decepticons. Who is Skywarp? He's the purple one, voiced by Frank Welker, and has the ability to teleport. Who is Thundercracker? He's the blue one, played by John Stevenson, and is a bit of a scientist. And it took me a little bit of a while, but I was able to figure out who who is each and every one of the total drama characters. Even the twin characters like Mickey and Jay and Amy and Sammy. Who is Amy? Who is Amy and who is Sammy? Amy's the one with the mole. Sammy's the one who doesn't have a mole. And Amy's an evil twin, while Sammy's the good twin. And who is Mickey and who is Jay? If I remember correctly, Jay. Actually, I'm still trying to remember who is Mickey and who is Jay. Maybe Mickey's the one with the something wrapped around his head to prevent further injury, while Jay is the one without. If I'm trying to remember correctly. Yeah, that's about it. That's how you can help recognize which character is who. Again, I remember who Sanjay and Craig are, who Fanboy and Chum Chum are, and who are Sway Sway and Produce, but I still have trouble remembering who is Gus and who is Wally. I have more memory of knowing who is Slip and who is Slide from Coconut Fred's Fruit Salad Island. Anyways, here's Sanjay and Craig dancing through the fireworks. Now who's next? Who's? Oh yeah. So this one's a Discord message. Let me. No. This one's a message. DN. Where can I find it? Where do I let me see if I could try and find it, fellas. Be right back. So where do you... just trying to remember where the drawing is. Okay, why don't I come back to that? Let me just screenshot that, and I'll save it somewhere over here so I can come back to it later. Yeah. Just because I think I need to try and move on a bit. Let's see. Okay, the next stop is Jeremy with Blackout Sparrow and holding Sparkles. So many earrings. Trying to remember what did the... Okay, so we're 45 minutes in. Okay, so to speed up production, I'm just gonna draw the sparklers like this. So that way the so I'm not getting to your questions yet because the super chat systems, I'm worried about losing them, and I might forget which request did I get from them. Oof. Sorry, I'm gonna have to. Sorry, I have to shrink your wings because they'll get in the way in the sparklers. Actually, I have no choice but to. Oh wait, what am I doing? I can draw wings like this. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just adding an extra layer so I can do the wings correctly. You know, I mean, why didn't I think of that earlier? Oops. Let me just remove the quick layer for a quickie. I'm just gonna make sure these wings are flapped on right. Oh wait. I have a better idea. Let me color them first. Uh-oh. That wasn't supposed to happen. So you're probably wondering, when am I going to open my Patreon page yet? In case because now it's January where I live. Am I going to bring it back? Not yet. Because like I said, I'm doing a little something. I'm keeping it closed until sometime in February because I'm thinking about doing a refurbishment on it because because I have a feeling that I'm doing too much for such a cheap price, and it's really not helping with me and my family. I'm trying to be as generous as I can, and I want to be connected with my fans as much as I can, but at times family matters just doesn't always give me the option to interact super socially online, and I often like to use the internet for research or because because I need to just relax a bit. Doesn't always give me enough time to how do I say this? And also, like I said, I just got a bit of a glitch with one of my I just got a slight glitch with one of my coloring things. Sometimes this does happen, but thankfully I have a cure for that. Nope, that was not the cure. And yeah, that was the cure. Now let me include those little spiky thingies, and then I am officially done with this guy, but I got others to go to. Uh-oh, I'm missing a couple. There you go. Another option I'm thinking of doing is that I'm thinking of doing a Q&A with my OCs, with my mascots, Black Rhino Ranger, Cool Croc, Frog Nix, and some of the other characters I created. I'm hoping to help boost. I want to help boost their attention. The thing is, though, my fan arts are the ones that get the most attention compared to my OCs. Like, you see me draw Lumity. When I draw Black Rhino Ranger art, it's doesn't get that much attention. But when I draw Lumity art, it gets a lot of attention. Oops. Sorry, itchy nose. The some people have trouble making a living out of art, especially even if their artistic skills are stupendous. They can sometimes not bring the still. You can make as great art as much as possible, but still make not too successful of a move. But your film will still not be very successful financially. Yeah, and you can make a piece of junk all you want, and it can still rank in the numbers. Transformers is kind of a bit of a subject to that. The Transformers 1 movie has become one, and the Bumblebee movies are some of the highest praised of the Transformers movies. Excuse me for a minute. But they did not make as much money as Hasbro hoped. In fact, Transformers 1 ended up being the lowest grossing of the Transformers films since the 1986 Transformers movie. And the trying to think, but even Michael Bay's lowest grossing Transformers movie, The Last Night, still managed to make more money than the later Transformers movies, grossing in at $600 million. Yes, while it was a fail for Hasbro, it still managed to be managed to gross about 3 times its budget. And now the Hasbro is not going to try and do something different for the movies, since they are having trouble keeping it financially afloat. So, what's going to happen with the Transformers film series in the future? We won't know until it happens. I mean, they are thinking about making a crossover with. They are thinking about making a crossover with the. I'm trying to think, who was it? G.I. Joe, which I never seen, but I have heard most, if not all, the episodes are available, especially the movie, the old '80s cartoon. funny enough, there is actually a G.I. Joe cartoon that the movie that was released not too long after the Transformers movie. It had it had an extra change. It was supposed to kill off one of the characters, but because of Optimus Prime's death, was tested very poorly, which caused a lot of kids to cry and leave the theaters because of that. They decided the character is not dead. He's just gone into a coma. It's kind of strange, but it's true. It's what happened. But nowadays we're in an era where death is kind of welcoming. And you have the ability to kill off your characters, and it can be as meaningful and thingy as possible. However, there are still those who are still a bit of a coward on that, and still prefer to do in the death fake out routine. Yeah, you know the ones where the character looks like they're dead, but a while later they come back. And it's been around since many fairy tales like Snow White. Anyways, I kind of rambled on a bit on that, and I kind of lost track of what I was going to say. Let's hope for most of these movies they can still make some money, as well as be critically successful with whatever it is. I mean, it is nice to have. I mean, if a film is really good but doesn't do well in the box office, well, give it a few more years, it'll become a cult classic. In fact, Transformers the movie, it was kind of hated back then in 1986. I mean, even Orson Welles wasn't too fond of playing the role. I mean, he's like, I play a giant toy robot attacking the other toys. And sadly, he passed away before he could see the film made. He died about a week after just finishing recording his lines. Sorry, some. So when somebody asks me to draw 4 characters in this, you expect to have a lot of waiting. It's sorry, it's a bit of a wait because somebody asked me to draw 4 characters instead of the recommended 2. In fact, I should probably make some more rules on how many characters I can or can't draw. That's another thing I want to do with my revamp of Patreon. Oops, I forgot something for Blackout. Speaking of Transformers, how many Transformers names were later used for the Skylanders? We have Blackout, we have Bombshell, we have trying to think, what else did we have that was where characters have a Transformers and a Skylander name? not lightning rod. Okay, fellows, we got the dragons all done. Who's next? Okay, I got a new one, Mr. Jinx from Star Slip. Mr. Jinx? The only other Mr. Jinx I know is that Hanna-Barbera character. The one who chases Pixie and Dixie. Oh, got the praise. I hates me sister pieces! No. So this is Mr. Jinx. Looks a lot like that mantis creature from Space Ghost, Coast to Coast. Oh, sorry. I thought I had a bit of a glitch area. Just trying to see what does the look like. It's hard to make a Okay, it's gonna take me a lot of time to draw these fireworks, unless they are big fat ones. And one more thing, once I finish the once I finish this live stream, I've got another animation coming up next. I've actually been planning this one since 2022. It's very short, but I think you might like the results. Let's just say I'll announce what it is later on. Yeah, I got another one coming. I just need to get to it as soon as I can. Yeah, I don't think the character has a official color in the comics. I mean, what I'm doing right now is seeing a fan art of it, and I'm basically mimic the trying to mimic the art style of that of the I'm just being inspired by the fan art. It's coloring. I don't know. I haven't read the comics, so it's kind of new to me. Yeah, I mean I am trying to get into webcomics. I mean, most of them I read are the ones that are not really story driven. They're usually just the one-shot comedy ones. Something more like on the lines of Garfield. I just never really had the time to read. I just never really had the time to read story-driven heavy comics. Anyways, I hope I did. Mr. Jinx, all right. If not, let me know if I need anything else. If I need to change anything else. And oh boy, we got another one. And sash. And are Sash, Lilac, and Carol T an actual couple? Oh, let's see. Or is it just a common fan shipping? I don't know. I haven't seen anything related to the shows, or I haven't seen any of the comics, so I can't really tell. So maybe I should have added in a new rule. Only if somebody is about to pledge, I'll only allow 1 to 2 at a time, and then I say, okay, I'm ready. Hit me with another. But then again, they'll probably make the live stream a little too long. Or is it? Or would it already been long anyways? Sorry, I'm just pondering to myself if I should add in some extra rules on doing live streaming with super chat requests. For now, there's no additional rules. Just do whatever you want. It's New Year's Eve. Just party. Wait a minute. I don't think I did it right. Let me just. Was the character designs inspired by Sonic? Because the character over here is giving me a little bit of an Amy vibe. Just doing a cutie little dragon drawing just to make sure it's the character is upset that the year of the dragon is over. I'm just thinking to myself, if Sonic Heroes were remade today, or had a sequel, or if they made a Sonic Heroes 2, which new brand of Sonic characters do you think could fit as a speedster, a flyer, and a power user? I'm trying to think any candidates. Yeah. What would I think Silver would definitely be speed, but what about Blaze? And for some reason in my head, the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog characters, Grounder, Scratch would be... No, Coconuts would be speed, Grounder would be... Actually, no. Actually, would... Now, maybe Scratch would be speed, Coconuts would be flight, by having the light bulb on his head replaced with a propeller, and Grounder would obviously be power. Now I'm aware that Sonic is planning a episode, a movie 4, a fourth movie. Now, minor spoilers for those who haven't seen the film. I have a feeling that they're going to keep on making more Sonic films until they introduced pretty much every character in the Sonic universe. Unless they make one more Sonic movie that can cap the whole series off like Avengers. And they'd be like, you know what, that's about it. Then no more Sonic movies. I think we're done. Oops, sorry. I mean, it's not like Sonic's gonna go with the gonna go in the Marvel Cinematic Universe route, right? I mean, Sony tried and they mostly failed. The only thing that was really successful financially was Venom, and even then, their films were a bit divisive. There are those who either loved the Venom movies and thought it was a cute, little cheesy comedy with a couple of good laughs here or there, or they just hated for not being true to the comics and being obnoxious and at times unfocused and mostly unfunny. I'm in the former. I like the Venom movies fine, but I know not to take them very seriously. In fact, my parents liked the Venom movies too. But I understand why Sony is doesn't want to do any more with the Sony Spider-Man universe. I haven't seen I've seen Venom in the theaters. I haven't seen the others in the theaters. In fact, somebody once showed me the entirety of Morbius. Shared with me the entirety of Morbius online, and I didn't see Madam Web until it was available on Netflix. And as for Kraven the Hunter, I'm not that interested. I think I'll wait until I see it on Netflix and maybe get a good laugh at how terrible it is. But from what I understand, it does have one of my favorite villains in there, the Rhino. And here's why I think Venom kind of succeeded financially while the others didn't, is because I don't think a lot of people know who Madam Web is or the other Spider Women are. They know Venom has been quite well known to the public, either on television or in video games or even in the movie, or even in the 2007 Spider-Man movie. Venom is quite well known. That's why he was more financially successful than the other Sony Spider spin-offs. That's my theory. That's just my theory on that. I could be wrong. As for Sonic, I'm not sure if they should. Do you think there should be a Sonic and Mario movie? I'm not sure. There are some people who are posting some ideas on a Mario and Sonic movie, but I don't know if both Sega and Nintendo can agree with on that part. I mean, I think they will mostly stick to just having games, and maybe in the future we can have a return of the Mario and Sonic Olympic Games. I mean, it was very distasteful what they decided to do with the Mario, with their Mario and Sonic franchise, by scrapping any further productions and replace them with NFTs. Ugh. I thought that thing died out years ago, and they're still trying to do it. Disgraceful, disgusting, despicable. Heck, there's also in talks of a Super Smash Brothers movie. Perhaps it can be done in an Avengers style? I don't know. Also, we have a lot of Pokemon movie. I'm not sure we should consider doing a one with Mario and Sonic. I mean, do a. I don't know. I don't know. It's gonna take a lot of work, and I mean, The Legend of Zelda is one of the most famous video games of all time, but I don't know if it can work with a. I don't know if they can work with a movie or some sort. I mean, a lot of people are skeptical of the idea of Link talking. And remember the Legend of Zelda cartoon where he constantly says, "Well, excuse me, princess." Do you seriously want to? With that in mind, who wouldn't trust Link to talk? But then again, movies and TV shows have different rules compared to video games. Dialogue is basically optional. It's not a requirement. It is recommended, but it's not required. You can if you want to, or you don't have to. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl originally started off as a franchise, as a game series that didn't have any voice acting, and but it got some backlash from fans saying that it feels very empty without the voice acting. So after a while, they decided, you know what? We'll bring in the voice acting. Let's bring back Tom Kenny as SpongeBob. Let's bring back. Trying to remember. Friend. Let's bring back the voice actress for Helga from Hey Arnold. We can't bring back the voice actor for Powder Toast Man because he passed away. So let's replace him with David Kaye. In fact, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl has, and even Kart Racers 3 has 3 voice actors of Frank Welker. Here, of Megatron. Frank Welker, who's Garfield, and Megatron in the G1 Transformers. David Kaye, who was Powder Toast Man and Beast Wars Megatron, and Fred Tatasciore, who was Reptar and War for Cybertron Megatron. And while it's great that they brought back the 80s Ninja Turtles voice actors like Rob Paulsen, Barry Gordon, Townsend Coleman, and Cam Clark, I am thinking to myself, how come the previous Nick Kart Racers games had the 2012 Turtles instead of the 80s ones, and they later just decided to bring in the 80s Turtles. But these are all just nitpicks. And I just realized, oops, sorry about that. Let me just redo this little bit again. So I'm just fixing this part. It's taking me a while, but afterwards I'm nearly finished. There we go. There, it's done. Let me just add in a little chair. There we go. I hope I'm doing this one right. Let's see. Let's see who's next. Jim Lake Jr. and Kirby. Oh dear, just... Okay, so I'm not very good with drawing. I'm just where did I This is not gonna be easy. I'm gonna tell you guys because never drawn a human like this before. Oops. Wait, I'm just after this I want to check if I still need to do that other drawing. Because there's that one I still have to remember doing. If I got nothing else to if I got, maybe I'll come back to it if I'm finished with any more live stream. I think I'm going off the rails now. Oh, I think I'm at the point now where you're not able to go any further than. Let me just shrink a little bit. So. And here comes an easy one. Let me just color the cheeks. Okay, we're about an hour and a half in. Oh, wait, is this the Kirby or is this the... or is this? I don't know. I don't know. I'll right now I'm unable to scroll over or until I get the others. Let me know if this is the Kirby you wanted, or maybe it's the. There's another character named Kirby from the same show as Jim Lake Jr. Because sometimes I forget if the franchise is. Let's color the guy again. He's got blue eyes, so. There. That's done. Let me know if I made any mistakes. Anyways, okay, Creator from Mixels with Courage. Yeah, this one should be easy. I think I know where they got the idea for Bad Brett's design. Yeah, I can actually picture some of the Mixels from Mixels guest appearing in Skylanders for some reason. Some of them had the elements. Sorry, I'm a bit silent because I don't know what else to talk about during the so goofy. I should probably check out Mixels more because this is more of a comedic-based show than compared to the other Lego properties. Most of the other Lego properties are more story-driven, like Bionicle and Hero Factory and Lego Ninjago. Even Lego Friends, despite it not being a action show, is a bit more story-driven. He's so goofy to look at. I think this would be Courage's early response. Though he does he's since he's called Courage the Cowardly Dog, naturally means he's scared of everything. Even when those who let's see, what am I saying again? Courage is he's afraid of everybody at first, but then he warms up to the idea, like the Tree of Nowhere, where he shows up as a Courage. And at first he does look a little unsettling, like he's got live action lips, and his mouth is a bit creepy. See, and then Courage starts to scream. No! Courage, you need not fear me. I have the cure you seek. And then Courage immediately warms up to him. But it will take 3 days, and by then I will be cut down. No! Any life worth giving is or sacrifice or something like that. And when Eustace is about to see him get chopped up, is about to chop him off, what's it to you that cutting me down will it make you feel more important? Eustace then has a thought. Well, yes! And then he cuts the tree down, and Courage sees what has happened. He goes up to the sun and he breaks it in with this loudest scream. And now the funny thing is, his is the most powerful scream because it's a scream of grief rather than the scream of fear and anger that he lost someone. Makes me wonder, why doesn't he ever try to get rid of... Why does Muriel stick around with Eustace? Then again, there were several episodes where Eustace gets the short end of the stick, and yet he keeps coming back like nothing happened. And Muriel is like okay with it. Like the one episode ends when Eustace is trapped in the box, or one episode when he was he blows up because the money was made of rocket fuel. There's even one episode where the chicken from outer space replaces Eustace's head, and now his body is a walking zombie. Okay, so are you able to add my creature to the Skylanders through editing or a full video? Oh, sorry, SB. I don't think I can do any more edits. I'm sorry. I have to move on. I don't think I can do. I don't think I can edit another. I don't think I can edit the picture. I'm unable to do so. And if I remove the video, it's gonna cost my. It's gonna do some dearly to the algorithm. I mean, if you remove a video, it's gonna damage your algorithm. You become recommended less and less. I'm already at a point where I'm unable to get recommended a lot, because so I don't want to lose that audience again. I mean, it's not my fault. It's YouTube's algorithm. Anyways, that's a new one. I think I can. Maybe I don't have to do it. Maybe I think I can I think I can manage to do it with. Oh, maybe I should. Maybe I should. Oh yeah, so it's a female version. Huh? Was this show based on being a transgender or something? Was Rama half a commentary of being transgender? Oh, sorry, I'm why am I not selecting it right? I think I can manage to do this in I think is it oh. Maybe if I do, not as a live stream because that'll take way too long. Maybe one day, if I'm up for the challenge, I can do a off-screen anime request challenge and basically bring in as much anime as possible. And you can comment any of your favorites, and I'll bring up the ones that I'm familiar with, like Pokemon, Digimon, Dragon Ball, a little bit of Dragon Ball, Tsubasa, Rama half, any of the Studio Ghibli movies, trying to think of the monster girly one, the Muzumi's thing. I know, I'm weird. Maybe a little bit of Ragna Crimson. I actually managed to snatch a copy of a novel of Ragna Crimson, in case that live action segment of my Skyny animation didn't already give you that hint. There's trying to think what other animes did I get introduced to, am I familiar with? A little bit of Yokai Watch, a little bit of Imazuma, a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh, Bakugan. There's a lot to take in. I'm just trying to maybe okay. I haven't seen the Seven Deadly Sins, or My Hero Academia, but maybe one day. Maybe one day. For now, I'm just a Western person. The problem is that even though anime is very vast and stuff, it's very difficult to try and find the animes you're looking for. Even if you don't want to do a subscription or you want to pirate it by using sites like Kim Cartoon or Kiss Anime or other sites, it's and Japan is very strict on whatever animes you should watch, whether it's pirated or anything like that. But they'll always try and find a way to go by the systems to take down the and copyright claim the anime videos, even if they follow under fair use and are being reviewed in the U.S. It's because reviews or used for educational purposes, it falls under fair use, and yet Japan doesn't quite get that memo at times, which does kind of worry me a bit. Because any day now, a lot of these sites could be taken down, and there would be and it becomes even harder and harder to find a way to see these animes without either paying for a subscription or finding some cable. And even then, you're probably stuck with an episode that you are either already seen or got into a bit early, and you didn't catch up with the previous episode because the anime is highly serialized, and it's hard to keep up with serialized works, especially if you're new to the work and you have no knowledge of the previous episodes. That's why I think we should have a balance of both episodic and serialized, because I have a feeling that if we rely too much on serialized, we may if we rely too much on serialized, we may not be able to. We won't know if the episode is good or bad, or if the show is bad by just an episode or two. Like if it doesn't follow continuity, then you can probably come back to it at any time, or you can get introduced to it in a different episode. I mean, Ed and Eddie, how many of you were introduced to the episodes that have where the title will have the music playing going instead of bam. I think a lot of people are familiar with the season 2 to 4 themes than they are familiar with the season 1 themes. Heck, even the Flintstones, it didn't start off with the iconic Flintstones, be the Flintstones, do 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 theme song. It started off with just a regular Flintstones instrumental-ish song. I think it went something like do 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 do. Okay, so Shelly and V from Danny's World. That's it. That's it. Thanks for reminding me. Okay. I think afterwards I may only have enough room for one or two more or entries, and then I'm done. If you're introduced to an anime, to episode 2 or 4 or 6 or whatever, then there's a good chance you might get lost in the story. I'm kind of a nincompoop to do this, but I didn't pick up Ragnar Crimson, the first novel. I skipped to the fourth novel. But funny enough, the second and the third novels were not available for sale. They were out of stock. Maybe I should. Maybe one day I'll go back to the store and actually pick up the first and third books so I can understand the context of the story. I usually only picked up Ragnar Crimson because there's a particular character I wanted to look at. And maybe, just maybe do some potential artwork on her. It's a character named Starla. Once again, I still need to do a bit of research on that before I actually do some actual fan arts on that. And maybe try and get better at doing some anime-ish drawings. I do it multiple times if I have to. But for now, I'm just more of a guy who's stuck in the West. And what was the other character again? V. Great. There are two characters I know named V. Actually, there's a character named V from a very controversial movie called Milk Money. And she was I don't think I can say that on YouTube without violating guidelines, but she's the P word, to say the least. If you want more info about that, you can just watch the Nostalgia Critics review on Milk Money. And I must warn you, it's supposed to be a kids' film, but you might feel a little dirty trying to watch it. And there's also the V's, these characters from Hazbin Hotel, where every character mostly consists of characters who are names beginning with V, like Vox and Velvet. Vox being the one who has an issue with Alistair. That loser is back. Yeah, I thought he was gone for good too. It's been 7 years. You still miffed that he is stuff you. What? I'm just trying to follow YouTube guidelines. Welcome home. Da 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 do do the night stare do 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 do. What a day! And he complains about Alistair so much. And there's another character. And Velvet is the you got it twisted. I'm not the one who needs a new attitude. And when they see that they thought that they saw Alistair was dead, but then he actually comes back to life in the end. Oops, did I spoil something? Anyways, and then of course there's my favorite character who's named V, the little basilisk from the Owl House. Yeah, I just wanna. I feel like she needs some protecting. She's too precious for the Boiling Isles. I think that's why she wanted to stay on Earth instead of going back with the others like. Okay, fellas. That's. I think this is the last commission. Let me just double check if there's any. Oh, I got another one. I got another one. Oh, I got two. Okay, so this one's a bit of a longer one, but I think after those two commissions, I think I might be done. Because I think I'm really running out of room, so dancing with his teddy. That reminds me of... One day, fellas, I'll do a little commentary on why I consider some of my choices during my birthday countdown as my most favorite instead of some of the other choices. Like, why did I choose Mr. Bean as my most favorite, the anime series as my most favorite cartoon of 2002 instead of something like Codename Kids Next Door? And why I consider Harvey Street Kids or Harvey Girls Forever as my most favorite cartoon of 2018 instead of something like She-Ra and the Princesses of Power or Bluey or anything like that. It's mostly because of personal preference, but once I do those commentaries during my birthday countdowns, I'll explain a bit more. Yeah. There are some that will be close entries. Like for 1999, of course, my most favorite would be Ed, Edd and Eddy, but two very close candidates were SpongeBob SquarePants and Courage the Cowardly Dog, and I'll talk about my two other candidates for the honorable mentions for which is my most favorite cartoon within each year. The funny thing is, Teddy in Mr. Bean, the animated series, is a lot different from the one in the live action Mr. Bean. The live action Mr. Bean, Teddy has white eyes with dots. It might be cross-eyed, I don't know. And he does have a mouth, while the one in the animated series has no mouth, has beady eyes and dotted eyes and has no mouth. I'll be very honest. I actually wanted the animated Teddy instead of the live action Teddy because that's the one I liked the most. Sorry, my mic's a little Now, at times Mr. Bean can be seen as a bit of a selfish jerk, but there are times when he actually does get his comeuppance for acting a little bit jerkish. There's in fact, the one particular. Sometimes he does get punished for basically wanting to enjoy himself, but a lot of stuff gets in the way. There's one episode called Dead Cat where he was basically enforced to deal with Scrapper's typical feline behavior, and Mr. Bean is like super sick of it. So he actually puts Scrapper in the trash can, but then he sees that he's been taken to the dump, and worried what Mrs. Wicked would do, he decides maybe I'll just get a new cat and she'll never notice. Unfortunately, the cats, when he tried to get a cat, the ones he tried to get just did not meet with satisfactory. There was one that did, but it wasn't for sale. It was the cat lady's. So what Mr. Bean did is that he set off the alarm and caused all the cats to run loose and steal the cat lady's pet cat and do a little bit of recoating to make him look like Scrapper, and then things seemed to be going well for a bit until they discovered there were fleas, and when Mrs. Wicked cleans the cat, the paint came off and reveals its true form, and understandably she kicks out Mr. Bean. And then the imposter was taken back. And then when Mr. Bean tries to return the cat unknowingly, the cat lady caught him in the act, and he's basically forced to paint. To set up the wallpaper and make sure everything is spotless. And then he gets fuddled with this. He just wanted to go on vacation, but Mrs. Wicked forced him to clean, having to deal with a cat. And when the cat... And then... it wasn't my favorite episode, but my most favorite episode is when Mr. Bean gets a super trolley. I can relate because I have trouble with some super trolleys, and they're a bit annoying. Cranius and Yaba. Okay. What does a non-alcoholic champagne look like? Non-alcoholic champagne. Wouldn't it be better if you guys gave them sarsaparilla? They may be a little too young for champagne. Anyways, what was I again? Um, Trying to remember what non-alcoholic champagne looks like. He's having a little taste of it with the You know what would be the most insane thing in the world if somebody were to ask me to draw all 9,000, nearly 1,000 Pokemon. Oh, was it 1,000? I can't remember. Be very insane if somebody were to pay me to draw the 1,000 Pokemon that are available, and then continue to pay me for any new generation Pokemon until there's nothing left of the franchise in about 20 to 30 years. Yeah, Pokemon's just gonna keep going and going and going and going. Ash's journey has come to an end, but the Pokemon is still going stronger, if not, is still going stronger than ever. I think for a smaller dosage, I think start off with each of the old generations first. As rather than asking me to draw Marrow and Totodile or Blaziken immediately, have me instead draw Electro, Diglett, Nidoran, Mankey, Venusaur, Rattata, Fearow, Pidgey, Seeking, Jolteon, Dragonite, Ghastly, Ponyta, Vaporeon, Poliwag, and Butterfree, and then consider the other generations. Start with the first with one generation, and then next. Have it graduate over time. Again, insane, but there is an idea. Anyways, what was that again? Oh yeah, I think Liabra's enjoying this drink a little too much. Again, since they're babies, I don't think they would like champagne. I think they would be more interested in something more sweet, like sarsaparilla or a soda. Again, why champagne? It's not that tasty, even with or without the alcohol. It's I mean, I actually did try a little bit of it. Just wasn't in my taste. I just found it disgusting. I was always more of a caffeine type of person. With soda or tea or coffee. And the more mild coffees, like lattes or stuff. Or coffee with lots of milk. Or just okay, I think just about let me double check in case there's any more. Nope, I think that's about it. I think I'm just about done. Now let's see the full picture. Let's take a look at the full picture. And babies, we are. This is a massive fireworks. Sorry. Some of the characters are off screen, but once I save the picture, that's when they'll be at full screen. And yeah, that's about it. Really, I think we're just about done. And yeah, I don't think I have enough time for any questions. So. So let's see. So let me tell you what's going to be on your next live. What's going to be on the next live stream. So originally, I wanted to do a special live stream on the 10th of January because it's going to be the 5th anniversary of a show that I really love, and it's like I said, it's on its 5th anniversary. It's probably my most favorite cartoon of the 2020s. That was the idea at first, but unfortunately, family matters is what's preventing me from doing that on that day. In fact, on that day afterwards, I'm not going to be able to draw for a bit. Let's just say I'm going somewhere, and I'm revisiting an old memory from 2012, let's say. So I was thinking, for the next live stream, it'll be on the 5th instead, and it'll be focusing on well, the festive time is over. Time to clean up. That's all I have to ask. Anyways, what was the question again? What's your most and least favorite year? My most favorite year. That's a good question. That is a very good question. I don't know what's my most favorite year of. Maybe it's 2011 when I got my hands on Skylanders. But of course, my least favorite is of course 2015. You all know. Many people know why. If that journal or my 2015 entry didn't give you that clue, but aside from that, 2011 is my most favorite. I bet everything will go well when the chalk strikes 12 tonight. And thank you for joining me. And for anybody who's seen this and has had their New Year's their clocks struck 12, well, Happy New Year's. And shall all your acquaintance be forgotten for all ensign. And thank you for joining me on this. I hope to see you in the next live stream. I hope you enjoyed this video. And once again, Happy New Year.